Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Gurum Vande Sharanyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauramanu Purnam Radhadasyam Pradayakam Padugacharya Varyam Rupamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Karuniyam Yugacharya Narayanam Vancha Kalopataruvyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuise Namaha. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismirahasil Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vrindai Tulasi Devyai Priyai Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So first of all I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradatam Shri Guru Pada Padma and Nitalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Ashtotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev. And to my most worshipable Shiksha and Sannyasa Guru Nitalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Ashtotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. And to all Shri Rupanvo Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasas, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So text 30. The relationship between Shri Krishna on one side and the living entity and the material world on the other is one of inconceivable difference and non-difference, achincha beda bed. Nevertheless, Shri Krishna is separately situated in his eternal Swarup. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9.35 states, Jatamahanti bhutani bhuteshu cha vaseshu anu apravishtani tatateshu natveshu aham. The five great elements of material creation enter the bodies of all living entities, high and low, from the demigods to the subhuman species. But at the same time, these elements exist independently. Similarly, I have entered into all living entities as a super-soul, but at the same time, I am situated independently in my own Swarupa, and I appear to my surrendered devotees both internally and externally. Another commentary of Srila Gurudeva, Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. After describing his own Swarupa, Sri Bhagavan says, I am situated inside and outside every living entity. Bhagavan dwells in every living entity as a super-soul, but not all living entities are able to perceive him. Only his devotees can realize him. Not only that, Sri Bhagavan is present everywhere in all places, and the devotees can also realize this. According to the gradation of their bhakti, devotees relish the existence of Sri Bhagavan and the nectar of his sweetness and beauty. The affection of the devotees for Sri Bhagavan is called prema, and this is prayojana tattva, the ultimate objective. The Premi Bhakta sees Sri Krishna everywhere, both within his heart and outside. This is the intrinsic characteristic, Swarupa Lakshana of Prema, as described by Krishna himself. So the difference here is that Premi Bhaktas, the pure devotees, they will not see Paramatma. They will see Krishna himself everywhere, also inside of their hearts. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 25:127, it says, Bhaktam abhandiyache hridoy komale, jahan nitra pore tahan dekai amare. The devotees keep me bound in their hearts with the ropes of love, and wherever they look, they see only me. Sri Bhagavan resides affectionately in the hearts of the devotees, considering them his own, and he resides in the hearts of the other living entities in a detached way. This is very interesting. So, Krishna here can also be attached and detached. For those who have no devotion for him, he's detached, he's neutral. But for those who are having love and devotion for him, he is very much attached to that devotee. Sri Bhagavan is supremely independent, yet his quality of being controlled is that he resides in the hearts of devotees with a sense of possessiveness, mamata for them. The essence of spiritual knowledge is prema bhakti, and the wonderful confidential secret of prema bhakti is that the Supreme Lord becomes controlled by his loving devotees who make him their prisoner. So here, one very important point we have to make is that although Krishna becomes controlled by the love of the devotees do not intend to control Krishna. So I have heard one time one Maharaj saying that if you want to control any deva, like Guru Deva or Krishna Deva or any deva, you can only do that by seva, by service. But the question is, why do I want to control Gurudev? Why do I want to control any deva, even Krishna? Our only desire is to serve them. If they become controlled, this is up to them, not our desire. The devotees are not willing to control Krishna, they are just willing to serve and please him. If he becomes controlled, then this is from his own side, but not the devotee's aim and object. Now text 31. Knowledge of the intrinsic nature of the holy name is given in Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu 1-2-233, quoted from the Padma Purana. Nama chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rahasya Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Bhinatvam Namanamino. The holy name is a transcendental wish-fulfilling gem, Chintamani, for there is no difference between Shri Krishna's name and Krishna himself. In other words, the holy name is the bestower of the supreme goal. This name is the very form of transcendental mellows, Chaitanya Rasa Swarupa. It is completely pure. That is, it is unlimited and eternally liberated, devoid of any connection with Maya. Now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. Nama and Nami are qualitatively non-different in principle. Therefore, in the name Krishna, all the transcendental qualities of the possessor of the name are present. The holy name is always the complete absolute truth, unaffected by material matter. He is eternally liberated because he is never bound by the illusory energy. The holy name is Shri Krishna himself, and is therefore the personification of the aggregate wealth of transcendental mellows. The holy name is a wish-fulfilling gem, able to give whatever one desires. Sri Nama Sankirtan, which is the practice, is non-different in every respect from Shri Krishna, who is the goal. The one absolute truth, who is imbued with transcendental mellows, consisting of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, is eternally present in these two manifested forms, Nama and Nami. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, Krishna says that he has two bodies. One is his own body and the other body is the mantra. So mantra is also non-different from Krishna himself. It's the second body of Krishna. Text 32. Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu 1-2-2-3-4 states, Atashi Krishna namadi nabhave grahyam indre sevamukhi jivado swayam eva spuratiyada. The tongue and the other material senses cannot perceive Shri Krishna's name, which appears automatically only on the transcendental senses of one in whose heart the desire to serve Shri Krishna has arisen. Then the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. It is the natural tendency of one who has a desire to serve Shri Krishna, Sevamukha, to be engaged in chanting Shri Bhagavan's holy name, is his intrinsic form. The holy name himself appears and begins to dance on the tongue and other senses of one who has a tendency towards nama seva. In other words, an inclination for chanting. The Supreme Lord's name can appear even on the tongues of animals. Example of these are Bharat Maharaj when he was leaving his dear body, and the elephant Gajendra when he was being pulled into the water by the crocodile. Now text 33. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.21.2 states, Swesvedi kareya nishta saguna parikirtita viparyastu dosha syad ubhayor esha nishayaha. To have unyielding steadiness on the path of dharma, according to one's own qualification, is a virtue. Conversely, to make endeavors that do not accord with one's qualification is a fault. So in the commentary, Srila Gurudeva says only one thing, that virtue and vice are only determined by one's qualification, not by anything else. So it means that you try to perform, like Krishna says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, you try to perform someone else's duty, even in a perfect way. It is a fault. But if you try to perform your own duties, even in an imperfect way, this is positive. Now text 34. Qualification for chanting the holy name is given in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.20, 27, 28. Although a person's faith in hearing narrations about me has been awakened, he may still find himself unable to give up sense enjoyment and the desire for it, in spite of knowing it to be the cause of misery. If this is the case, he should sincerely condemn his inability to give it up and continue to worship me with firm faith, conviction, and love. So this verse is very, very important. So Krishna is saying that I will always forgive any faults and offenses if you are sincere, and you should just continue to worship me with love and conviction. Then everything is going to be all right. See, some people think that if we are not perfect devotees, if we make mistakes, we fail with our sadhana, or we commit some offenses, or we commit some sinful activities, whatever it may be, some mistakes from our side may be. Some people think that they're condemned, to hell forever, and there is no hope for them, and Krishna is very displeased, and Gurudev is very displeased, all these things. But this is not true. So Krishna is like mother. Krishna is full of love. He's not like a military, supervisor who is going to kick our head and punish us by any small thing we do. It's not like that. And not give us a promotion. But we treat ourselves like this. We are our military supervisors. We punish ourselves because we have no love even for ourselves. What we speak for others and Krishna. So the tendency is that we are reflecting on Krishna what we feel, our own understanding of love and compassion. So in this way, we have to take easy things. Don't be fanatic. I always tell this, don't be fanatic. Don't be too hard. Try to realize the ocean of love in which you are inside. Relax. Do your sadhana with happiness, with light heart, with celebration mood, like that. You have committed unlimited sins from many, many lifetimes. You have committed unlimited offenses from many, many lifetimes. But still, Gurudev accepted you. Krishna is accepting you. You are practicing, you are coming to Dham, and now you think because one mistake you did, everything is lost. This is nonsense. So many people, they become so much mental because of mistakes, and they end up giving up practice. But actually, it was not Krishna that gave up him or Gurudev gave up him. His own mind make like a sabotage on him. So don't take tension. Always cool head. Make mistake, beg forgiveness from that and carry on. If you have no faith that Krishna is ocean of love, then why you are worshipping him? Better to change your God. In the Vishnu Jamala, book, the Supreme Lord says, I forgive even millions of offenses from any person in this world who chant my names with faith. There is no doubt about it. So take this shloka from Bhagavatam that Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes here. 11, 20, 27, 28. Write down in a paper and stick on your wall. We have anarthas. You cannot overcome your material condition just because of the desire to overcome. You cannot do it. So do you think Krishna does not know that? So this way we should encourage ourselves and carry on enthusiasm our practice. Now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. By the influence of association with devotees, a person develops a taste for hearing Harikatha. At that time, he will lose interest in all other activities, and with firm faith, he will continuously chant the name of Sri Bhagavan. However, if someone is unable to give up sense enjoyment or desire for it due to his previous habits, in his heart he should deeply lament his continued attached to it. Here, in these two verses, the intrinsic nature of bhakti is described by mentioning the first symptoms of the qualification for bhakti. Sarva karmasu means that all material, Vedic activities and fruit of those activities result in sadness, being distressed by a miserable mind. Kaman means realizing the miseries that result from the desires arising from associating with the opposite sex. If a person is unable to renounce these desires, he should, from the beginning, have the firm conviction. If my attachment to household life is destroyed, or if it increases, if my bhajan is full of millions of obstacles, or if I go to hell because of offenses, I will accept it all. But I will never give up devotion, even if Brahma himself tells me to do it. A person who performs bhajan with such staunch faith will certainly be successful, even if his desires causing misery arise from association with wife, children, etc. A person should condemn those desires and continue fulfilling his worldly responsibilities. However, he should never give up bhakti. Listen carefully. However, he should never give up bhakti. The desire for enjoyment will gradually diminish by hearing, chanting, and so forth, and one will ultimately attain bhakti. We can also remember the example of Vivamangala Thakur. In that very life that he got self-realized, he was attached to a prostitute for many years. Do you know how bad it is to associate with a prostitute? And not only that, he gave all his wealth, his money, everything, and he compromised even his own family. But then, when he realized that this was bad, he just started doing bhakti. He condemned himself, and he was successful in bhakti. So what we speak of Vivamangala Thakur, when he was engaged in the relation with the prostitute, he was not doing bhakti. Even though after when he restarted again, he was successful. Why? Because he never gave up. He always had hope that his devotion to God, this is more important than anything. But this is a very important message. Never give up bhakti, never. Text 35. The 6 principles favorable for bhakti are described in the 3rd verse of Sri Upadeshamrita. Utsahan nishchayay dharyat tatat karma pravartanat sangatyagat satovrite sadbhir bhakti prasiddhati. Perfection in bhakti can be achieved by the following 6 kinds of practices. First, to be enthusiastic in following the rules which nourish devotion. 2, to have firm faith in the statements of the scriptures and Guru, whose words are fully in line with Shastra. 3rd, to be patient in the practice of bhakti, even in the midst of obstacles or when there is a delay in attaining one's desired success. 4th, to follow the limbs of bhakti, such as Shravana and Kirtana, and to give up one's material sense enjoyment for the pleasure of Krishna. 5th, to give up association that is opposed to bhakti, like illicit connection with women, the association of those who are overly attached to women, and the association of Mayavadis, atheists, and pseudo-religionists. And sixth, to adopt the good behavior and character of the devotees. Okay, so the commentary of Srila Gurudeva, Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. To maintain one's existence and to cultivate bhakti are both necessary for devotees. The first half of this text indicates the activities that nourish bhakti, and the second half describes how a devotee should conduct his life. Enthusiasm, utsaha, conviction, nishchaya, patience, dhairya, executing activities that nourish devotion, tatat karma pravartana, renouncing bad association, sangha tyaga, and adopting the virtuous conduct and temperament of pure devotees, sadvritti, are the means to attain perfection in bhakti. Utsaha means to remain indifferent in every respect to the practices related to jnana, karma, and anyabhilasha, means desires other than to serve Krishna, and also to one's preferred variety of material enjoyment, while steadily executing the limbs of sadhana bhakti. Bhagavad Bhakti is the only ultimate objective for all living entities. Such firm faith is called nishchaya, conviction. Straying to the paths of karma, jnana, and so forth make one's mind restless, and following their practices simply produces suffering in the end. Therefore, the firm resolve that the path of bhakti is the only constitutional path for sincere living entities is called dhairya, or fortitude, patience. Haridas Thakur took a vow never to give up chanting, and he strictly adhered to it. Khanda khanda hoy deho jai jadi pran, tohu ami vadani nachari harinam. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adi Khanda 1694. Even if my body is cut to pieces and my life air exits, I will never abandon the chanting of Harinam. This is the ideal in the realm of bhakti. To cultivate the practices of bhakti, such as hearing Harikatha, chanting the Supreme Lord's name, and meditating on His name, form and pastimes with firm conviction like Haridas Thakur, is tatat karma pravartanat. Only the association of Sri Bhagavan's devotees is desirable. One should never associate with karmis, jnanis, or those filled with extraneous desires, or desires outside of service to Krishna. One should know such people to be less intelligent and indulgent. Karma, jnana, astanga yoga, and so forth, which are devoid of the desire to please Sri Bhagavan, are not steps on the path of bhakti. The path of bhakti is characterized by saintly conduct, sadhuvriti, because all virtuous qualities certainly reside within a person who possesses devotion. Enthusiasm for serving Shri Krishna, conviction in the service, being steadfast in Krishna seva, ensuring that all endeavors are solely for service to Shri Krishna, renouncing the company of all others except Krishna's devotees, and following the footsteps of Krishna's devotees are the 6 practices that enhance bhakti. 36. The gradual development of bhakti through the association of genuine sadhus and is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavantirit karna rasayana katha tajjosana yasya pagavar vartmani shradharatir bhaktir anukramishati. In the association of pure devotees, there are powerful discussions that illuminate my heroic deeds and that are pleasing to both the ears and the heart. By hearing these narrations, one quickly proceeds along the path of the removal of ignorance, which is the sequential development of Shraddha, Rati, and Prema Bhakti. Now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva, Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. By great fortune, the living entity wandering throughout material existence may attain that kind of sukriti which bestows bhakti. When this sukriti accumulates over many births, it gives rise to faith or shraddha with exclusive devotion. When shraddha arises, the desire to associate with pure devotees and true saints manifests, and by this association, one will gradually develop a taste for sadhana and bhajan. When anarthas are removed and this Shraddha becomes pure, it transforms into nishtha, which in turn, when pure, transforms into ruchi. The beauty of bhakti makes this ruchi very fixed and thus turns it into ashakti. Gradually this ashakti gains perfection and transforms into bhava. When bhava combines with its corresponding components in the right proportion, rasa appears. This is the gradual development leading to the appearance of prema. Text 37. A Madhyama Bhakta renders service to the three kinds of Vaishnavas. In Sri Upadeshamrita number 5, it is said, Krishna tijasya giritam manasadriyata dikshasti chit pranati vischa bhajantam visham shushrusaya bhajanna vigyam ananyam manya nindadishu niridam ipsta sangalabdhya. That person who utters Shri Krishna's name by just once, calling out, O Krishna, is a neophyte devotee, Kanishta Adhikari, and one should offer him respect within one's mind. That person who fully understands the principle of Diksha, has accepted Diksha from a qualified Guru, and performs bhajan of the Supreme Lord in accordance with Vaishnava conventions, is an intermediate devotee, Madhyamadhikari. One should respect such a devotee, who is endowed with the correct understanding of reality and illusion, by offering obeisances unto him, and so forth. That person who properly understands the science of bhajan, as described in Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vaishnava scriptures, and performs exclusive bhajan of Shri Krishna, is a Mahabhagavata. Due to his undeviating absorption in Krishna, the pure heart of such a devotee is free from faults, such as a tendency to criticize others. He is expert in bhajan, which means he is skilled in the method of remembering Sri Radha Krishna's eternal eightfold daily pastimes through Manasi Seva, service performed within the mind. Knowing him to be a Mahabhagavata, whose heart is established in the particular mood of service to Sri Radha Krishna, for which one aspires, Swajatiya, and who is affectionately disposed towards oneself, Susnigdha, one should seek his association, considering it to be topmost. One should honor him by offering prostrated obeisances, making relevant inquiry, and rendering service unto him with great love. Now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva, Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. Because the Mahabhagavatas see everything as related to Shri Krishna, they look upon all with equal vision. They are devoted to Krishna bhajan like the Madhyamadhikari, and intent on chanting to the holy names like the Kanishadhikari. The Madhyamadhikaris have prema for Shri Krishna. They offer appropriate respect to the three levels of devotees by rendering service, offering obeisances, and offering respect mentally. They always endeavor to turn the conditioned living entities towards Shri Krishna, and they are indifferent to those who are averse to Shri Krishna. However, they do not possess equal vision like the Uttama Adhikari Mahabhagavat, and if they deceitfully imitate him, they will very quickly fall down. Kanishadhikari knows that the name of Shri Krishna is supremely auspicious, and therefore he takes shelter of chanting the holy name. He does not understand, however, that the position of the Madhyamadhikari is high, and that he should strive to reach that level in the future. Sometimes the Kanishadhikari considers himself a guru, and consequently falls down. Therefore, by carefully offering appropriate respect to those Vaishnavas who are more advanced than he is, he should take shelter of the holy name. So now text 38. One should chant the holy name while maintaining one's life by yukta vairagya, the mood of appropriate renunciation. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-255 says, Anasaktasya vishayam yatharham upayunjata nirbandha Krishna sambandha yuktam vairagyam uchate. Appropriate renunciation is to accept objects favorable to one's service while being detached from what is unrelated to Shri Krishna and attached to what is related to Krishna. So, text 39. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.11.32 says, Vritya swabhava kritaya vartamana swakarma krit hitva swabhava jan karma sanir nirgunatam yat. One who maintains his occupational duty, swadharma, by taking shelter of his innate propensity, will gradually become detached from these activities and become situated beyond the material modes. Text 40. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.7.39 says, Pranavrityeva santushen munirna vedriya priyahi jnanam jata nanashyeta navakriyeta vammanaha. I have taken a lesson from how the vital force within the body operates, that one should eat and drink only as much as is required to sustain the body. A sadhaka should also eat only what is needed to maintain his life. He should not enjoy sense objects merely for his own gratification. Otherwise, his intelligence will become corrupted, his mind restless, and his speech engaged in topics unrelated to Shri Krishna. So here, there is no also commentary of Gurudev, but we can easily understand that if a devotee is spending a lot of time talking about subjects which are not related to Krishna, it means that he's having some problem in controlling his senses. Sometimes we can talk because we also live in the material world. But if we are too much busy with that, then it's showing that we are unable to control our senses, our intelligence is corrupted, and the mind is restless. Therefore, the speech is always connected to things which are not related to Krishna. But not only speaking, also hearing and reading about mundane subjects, that is also considered the same thing. You can sometime study some subject to understand how you should react, how you should, position yourself in the society. But that should not take too much time from your daily sadhana. Then you should make a self-analysis, check, am I spending more time with mundane topics than with Harikatha? It is a problem. Everything is connected. The senses, the mind, the speech. So we should, from all sides, try to protect them by Krishna Katha. So therefore, our meeting here 3 times a week, it is very important because you have so much different subjects to, think about during your week. And this is very favorable for your spiritual bhajan, your spiritual practice. Okay, so let's read the text 41. Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya 8.51 explains that one should be careful about whom one associates with. A person develops the qualities of the company he keeps, just as a crystal reflects the color of those objects that are brought into its proximity. Therefore, by associating with the pure devotees, one can himself become pure. The commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. Association with devotees, sadhu sangha, is the source of all auspiciousness. Where the scriptures give the instruction to remain in solitude, it means to only keep sadhu sangha. So, Vaishnavas, they never want to be alone. They always want to be in the association of pure devotees. For some time, it may happen that you want to, be alone. But this is not the goal of the life of a Vaishnava, to be alone. So in the same way, when the scripture says that you should perform mauna, means the silence, then you should understand that you should always chant the holy names and speak Harikatha. Text 42. With great effort, one should follow the path delineated by the Mahajanas. This is described in the Skanda Purana, quoted in Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu 1-100. Sambrigya Shriyasam Hetu Pantha Santapa Varjita Anavapta Shramam Purve Yena Shanta Pratashire. Only by following the path upon which previous great personalities, Mahajanas, have easily traversed, can we find ultimate auspiciousness and freedom from all suffering. Text 43. The acquirement of knowledge by hearing from scriptural authorities is the real path of bhakti. The Brahmajamala states, quoted in Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu 1.2, 101. Shruti smriti puranadi pancharatra vidhim vina aikantik harir bhaktir utpat eva kalpate. One can only attain the one-pointedness or aikantika bhava of pure bhakti by adopting the path of the previous Mahajanas. It cannot be attained by leaving the path of the Mahajanas and creating another path. Because Dattatreya, Buddha, and later preachers were unable to understand pure bhakti, they accepted only a semblance of this transcendental sentiment. Dattatreya mixed it with impersonalism and Buddha with atheism, and thus they set forth useless paths, describing them as one-pointed devotion. In reality, however, the paths promoted by these people are not Hari Bhakti. They are simply a disturbance. Now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. In Raga Marga Bhajan, there is no consideration of rules of the Shruti, Smriti, Puranas, Narada Pancharata, etc. The only consideration is to follow the inhabitants of Braja. But for the sadhakas eligible only for Vidhi Marga, it is necessary to adopt the path of devotion as presented by Mahajanas such as Dhruva, Prahlada, Narada, Vyasa, and Shuka. Thus, there is no other means for the Vaidhi Bhaktas except to follow the path of saintly persons. Without the mercy of Nama Prabhu, those who perform bhajan will be unable to give up their anarthas, even after millions of attempts. But if one sincerely weeps at the lotus feet of Nama Prabhu, all one's anarthas will vanish within a few days. Giving up one's anarthas in this way, one should hear and chant, having taken exclusive shelter of the holy name. So, Srila Gurudev is explaining that those who are following Raganuga Bhajan, they do not need to follow rules and regulations. But those who are not in that platform, they must follow rules and regulations. So, but many people, they think that they can just let their sentiments flow freely because they have love for God and everything will be fine. And they even don't want to hear what our acharyas from the past have to say. They think that there is no need to follow under the guidance of the previous acharyas because they are already, eligible for bhakti. But then this shloka from Narada Pancharatra is saying that if you have not yet removed your anarthas and you want to perform spontaneous devotion, what is going to happen? You are going to cause disturbance in the society. Just like this Buddha that Gurudev is mentioning here, this Buddha is Siddhartha Gautama, it's not the avatar Buddha. Now text 44. Endeavors made in performing resolute bhajan are described in Hari Bhakti Vilas. If a one-pointed devotee, Aikantika Bhakta, chants and contemplates the glories of his Prabhu, Sri Vishnu, with great affection, and according to his transcendental sentiments, he will have no taste for any other activity. With his particular mantra and in his particular mellow of devotion, he performs archan in whatever mood he desires to serve the lotus feet of his beloved deity. Later, that same service transforms into his eternal service. Even if one has given up everything else, some last vestiges still need to be relinquished before this can happen. Especially the desire for name and fame, pratishtha, which is the root cause of all anarthas. The prime duty is to give up this pratishtha, which is compared to a stool. What to speak of touching this pratishtha? Do not even look at it, even from a distance. For one who chants the name of Sri Hari in the morning, noon, evening, and midnight, no other sadhana is needed. So there is no commentary of Srila Gurudev for this verse, but something we can mention. At first, the verse is describing how the devotee, while he is serving his deity with one-pointed bhava, one-pointed mood, he will desire to render some particular type of service. For example, he likes to string garlands, or he likes to cook some specific dish, or he likes to dress the deity in some particular way, or he likes to celebrate some specific type of festival which gives him more bliss. So that is an indication of his eternal service. So after entering the eternal pastimes of the divine couple, he will be rendering that same type of service eternally. And also, the verse explains that even though devotees may be very advanced, they may be one pointed to their service, but still the last anartha in the heart, in the form of pratishta, it may be still present. So the devotee, he has to fight against this anartha at any cost to avoid to be attracted by pratishta. Sometimes we see some elevated Vaishnavas, they don't want to expose themselves, they don't want to accept any position, of respect, of prestige. Although we know they are qualified, they deserve that. But internally, they are fighting against this pratishta all the time. They want to avoid. For example, they are avoiding to initiate devotees to take the position of guru. So, but what to do in this case? Devotees, they have to force him because they know it is necessary. So now text 45. Govinda Lila Amrita 2.1 describes the early morning pastimes, Pratha Lila, as follows. Radham snata vibhushitam prajapayahutam sakhivi prage daggehe vihittana pakarachanam krishna veshashanam krishnam buddham avapta dhenu sadhanam navyuda godhohanam sushnatam krita bhojanam sahacharestam chatha tam chashraye. After the Kunja Bhanga Lila or Nishantha Lila, means the end of the night pastimes, Sri Radha Shyam Sundar returned to their respective abodes, their homes, and lie down on their beds. The condition of Sri Kishori in Javat is indescribable, as she burns in separation from her beloved. Sri Rupa and Rati Manjaris are absorbed in their service to her and give her encouragement, again infusing her with life. Sometimes Jyotila, sometimes Mukhara, and sometimes Purnamasi enter Sri Kishori's quarters. And at this time, Shamala also comes. Kishori and Shamala become immersed in joking with each other. In this way, the pastime always takes on newer and newer aspects. Rupa and Rati and other manjaris render intimate service to Srimati by bathing her, decorating her, and so forth. And at the same time, they remind her of Shri Krishna's pastimes. So just to situate you, we are reading the second Leela. It's called Pratha Leela. So, and this is the description of what happened when Radha Krishna, they separate themselves. So here in this verse, it is described what happened with Srimati Radhika. Now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya everything. Sri Kishori and her Sakis depart from Nanda Bhavan. On the way, they meet Sri Shyama Sundar, and many pastimes full of rasa take place. Our Goswamis have revealed these pastimes in their writings. Upon reaching Nanda Bhavan, Sri Kishori starts to cook and prepares many tasty dishes on the countless stoves that surround her. So here Srila Gurudeva, he is giving the continuation of what the verse from Govinda Lilamrita describes. So the verse describes what happened with Radha when she reaches Javat, and so many Sakis go there to, inspire her, again, because she's suffering separation. And then now Gurudev is describing when she already left for Nanda Bhavan, early morning, to cook for Krishna. Shyama Sundar is sleeping in his home. Yashoda Maya awakens him, and upon seeing the nail marks on the body of her dear son, she becomes sad and says, "The limbs of my Lala are as soft as the petals of a blue lotus. Why have the boys hurt him in their wrestling matches? And his limbs are smeared with so much mineral pigments. Allahs, what to do? I do not know how to put an end to this." So Mother Yashoda, she thinks that Krishna was playing with his friends, and then he got some scratches on his body, and so much color also painted by crushing some jewels and minerals and mixing with water. She thought this is like a boy's play. But Kundalata, she's joking and saying to Mother Yashoda, "Your Lala is performing Rasa at night." But the word Rasa is unknown to Yashoda Maya. Then, after expressing affection for his mother, Shyama Sundar jumps off from bed and goes to milk the cows. Upon his return, he bathes, eats, and then leaves for cow herding. Kishori shyly accepts some of her beloved's remnants and returns to Javat with her Sakhis. So Gurudev is saying many other pastimes take place amidst of all these Leelas, and it would be very difficult to describe them all. A Premi Bhakta performs bhajan while remembering these pastimes, which are alluded to here, and tastes their rasa even in the stage of sadhana. So interesting is that when Kundalata is mentioning to Yashoda that Krishna is performing rasa with the gopis, Yashoda does not know what rasa means. So therefore Kundalata, she knows that she can reveal that secret and she will not be understood by Madhya Yashoda. So because in the head of Yashoda, it's not possible to conceive that Krishna is at night meeting with so many gopis in the middle of the forest. She can never understand that. Okay, so this is the end of the second chapter, Dvita Yama Sadhana, Pratha Lila. Pancha kalpatarvesha kripa sindhubevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Haribo.